Hey guys, welcome to Scribbles with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Rector, and this is part 2 to getting this really quick story idea down. And if you haven't seen part 1, you can check in the show notes there, and you can get back there. So what did we do? We established in Act 1 that, or the very first thing we did was a theme or a moral we wanted to get, which was candy is the best. And that's your Act 3, okay? The next step you want to do is a counter argument to that. So candy rots your teeth. That's our Act 1. Now the Act 2 is a transition between them. Something has to happen to go from this idea to this idea. So what I'm going to do is friend brushes teeth. That might sound a little open-ended, but what I would like to explain throughout, and you'll see as we go, why that's important, okay? And something has to happen here to make this make sense. Okay, so the next step you're going to do is you're going to break down each act or each card into a beginning, middle, and end, okay? So Act 1 we're working on right now. Candy rots your teeth. So the end of Act 1 talks about a kid loses teeth in class. Okay, so a kid's going to come in from the class, and they rotted their teeth because they ate too much candy. Okay, so what's another counter argument you can have for that? And you don't always have to have a counter argument. It just makes it a little more simple to get the beginning, middle, and end happening. But I could definitely have a beginning of this that's different than a counter argument. But I like the counter argument here. So kid loses teeth in class. So how are we going to have a start? Let's just say hero, and when I use hero, sometimes I'll use MC for main character, or hero represents main character. So I'm just going to do it just for simplicity here. Hero is eating candy. Okay, so we're starting off good here. At the same time, we're kind of starting off with the same message that I want to implant at the end. That I believe candy is the greatest thing. So Act 1, we have hero is eating candy. And then something has to happen in between here, from the hero that eating candy to kid loses teeth in class. Okay, so what's going to happen? Okay, teacher is talking about brushing your teeth. I don't know about that. Teacher is talking about sugar. We'll say sugar. That way we can still relate it to everything that's going on, but still things happen. So Act 1, this is so far what I have. Hero is eating candy. Then the teacher's talking about sugar. Then kid loses teeth in class. Okay, and it could even be as drastic as literally they fall out at that moment, or somebody comes in from an appointment. Okay, now Act 2, the exact same thing. So friend brushes teeth. Okay, so how's that going to end? Maybe hero has friend sleepover. Friends sleepover, and actually I could just end it at that. I don't necessarily have to say brushes teeth, okay? But you may want to do this since each step replaces the previous cards in front of it. But what I like to do is I like to keep all of the cards here. That way I can always look back to see what the root is of what I'm trying to say. That way I never seem to go off topic. I never seem to break something that I'm trying to say there. Okay, so Act 2 ends with the hero has a friend sleepover. Okay, so what's a counter to that? Maybe has a friend sleepover. Friend buys a new video game. And this is what I'm talking about when I started off in the first video, about where you may want to sit on this stuff for a while, because friend buys a new video game. Maybe in a month I'm still thinking and mulling over the idea of the story. I'm going to change it to something else. Maybe a friend bought a new toothbrush. I don't know. Whatever you want to tell. Now what's the transition between a friend buys a new video game and a hero has a friend sleepover? It's probably pretty obvious. Hero and friend buy junk food. Or in this case, candy. Okay, they buy junk food. So, in the bird's eye view, this is what's happening in the plot stage, right? A friend buys a new video game. Hero and friend buy junk food. Hero has friend sleepover. I think we've all done this when we were growing up. Some of the best times, if you ask me. So, there's going to be things that happen, like, maybe this kid buys a game, then they're talking, like, hey, wouldn't you like to sleep over? That stuff can be talked about. Yeah, let's get some food. So they buy the junk food, and then they sleep over, and then they're going to brushing their teeth, okay? So Act 3, it has to end with candy is the best. Let's look at the time. Should make it here. Okay, so it's going to end with candy is the best. maybe the kids what? What could the kids be doing where the candy is the best? And this is the tricky part, because Act 3 is usually where you really want to solidify what's your story about and why you feel about this, why you feel this way, that candy is the best, right? So keep it simple, so I'm not dragging you guys just by staring at a blank page. We'll say candy is the best. Let's go with the hero and friend stay up all night. Stay up all night. So we'll say that. So they're going to be staying up all night, probably talking, playing games, and eating candy or junk food. So again, counter, or how does this start? Hero and friend stay up all night. Okay, so counter to that, maybe. I apologize, because this is the tricky stuff, because I know I'm running out of places to put things, so you really got to start to narrow down and home in on some ideas here. So we'll just say hero talks about kid who lost teeth. Alright, and now right away, I mean, I've already got it down. I already know. We're going to jump right into the transition. Hero and friend brush teeth. So what I've just done there real quick, and this isn't floating boats or anything like that, what I've just done is established something that I talked about in the beginning about brushing your teeth because they lost their teeth because they didn't brush their teeth. Now I'm re-stamping that in, that the hero's actually doing it. Okay, so this is pretty much done. Okay, here's your 9 cards, 3 for each. Okay, the next step you would do is you break down each one of these into a beginning, middle, and end, and then even those cards you could break down into a beginning, middle, and end, depending on the length of your story. You know, this is what changes. If you're doing like a mini comic, let's say, I'd even go as far as maybe this would be as most as you'll do. 9 cards. That's enough plots to have things happening. And you know, when you're worrying about how to tell this, like Act 2 is a pretty big chunk, so it might take 20 pages to tell this, 10 pages for that, 20 for that, 10 for that. This might be 2 pages, 2 pages, 2 pages. It doesn't matter. Those beats are still happening. Those plots are still happening. But I've even gone as far as sometimes even in Act 2, I'll only add a beginning, middle, and end to the Act 2 stuff if I really wanted to flesh something out. But the idea is you want to keep it balanced. You don't want to start loading up Act 1 and then everything else is just like this, because what's going to happen is, as you've noticed, we've watered them down further into different things, and when you've watered them down, you're getting down to its purest essence, okay? So that by the end, this right here, like, I'm just going to read it to you here, okay? So, beginning, hero is eating candy. Teacher's talking about sugar. Kid loses teeth in class. That's Act 1. Friend buys a new video game. Hero and friend buy junk food. Hero and has friend sleep over. Act 2's done. Hero talks about kid who lost teeth. Hero and friend brush teeth. Hero and friend stay up all night. That is a different story than candy rots your teeth. Act 1's done. Act 2, friend brushes teeth. Act 2's done. Act 3, candy is the best. You know what I'm saying? And what I've done is I've just kept watering it down, but essentially the story is about that. As long as I have an Act 1, candy rots your teeth is the big punch, I'm staying on track. Act 3, if I make sure that candy is the best, and I show why it's the best, then I've succeeded in Act 3. Now the struggle is coming up with the characters and the dialogue and stuff. But for me, and what I love about this and why I wanted to show this to you guys, is because I've done this very quickly. What I would recommend doing is, even if you spent a day worrying about what you want to tell and what a very good counter argument is to it, to you, something, like a counter, like let's say you're a hardcore religion fanatic, okay? So you're like, religion is the best, we'll say. A counter argument to that. What would be a counter argument to that? You could think of so many things, but try to get the best one that you can do. So the reason is because your hero or the story has to eventually get to what you're trying to say. So you need to start with the counter. You need to start with the opposition to what's happening in there. And I'm going to wrap it up with that. I hope you guys learned something. And I just want to say finally as well, this is just an idea. This isn't the only way and the best way to write stories. The only reason I wanted to bring it up to you guys again is because I'm having a lot of success with it, and it's making me think in different ways of getting plots down, okay? The dialogue and stuff, that's unique. That's what separates, I think, some writers from different writers. Like, I haven't even talked about foreshadowing, even though I did a little bit in Act 1. What I would definitely do is start talking about brushing teeth a little bit within here. That way, at the end, brushing teeth comes back up. But writing, I'm getting really addicted to writing. I think it's a really cool thing. So anyway, try this out. I'm going to leave you guys because I'll just keep rambling if I don't. I hope you had a good time. Again, my name is Jonathan Rector. You can check out my website and my work at jonathanrector.com. If you're on Twitter, follow me there as well at twitter.com/artbyjar. There should be another video this week. This one's making up for last week because I slacked on you guys. Okay, so thanks so much. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.